Hey guys, Trevor Hold here. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. Who are we? We're just trying to explore identity and talk to different people about who they are and what they're up to in the world. Today's special guest I have with me is Jen Carpenter. How are you, Jen?
Doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
That's right. Thanks for being here. Just before we get started, just a bit of a disclosure. We're recording this session here. We're going to publish it on a YouTube podcast channel and just provide links on LinkedIn just for other people and make it public. That's the whole purpose of this, is just to try and get it out there, just to raise awareness and get people talking about who they are and what they stand for. So let's get into it. So who is Jen Carpenter and what does she stand for?
Well, there's a lot to that. I'd have to say, I began an entrepreneurial journey 3.5 years ago, looking to leave my career that was still is very stressful. My kids were 2 and 3 at the time, so I was looking to change my life one way or another and take control of my life, to live more life on my terms, and so I could be a better version of myself and for my children and build a legacy for my children as well. So one of the things I initially learned was I started with a coaching program with high performance women in my first year in business, and I learned a lot about clarity of self. And so the things I've focused on since then is that I always want to focus on being present and joyful and present in what I'm doing. So joyful, focused, and present are the main 3 things that have stuck in my head since then. And we went through, all the things that are important to us with our values. It's kind of interesting that this is coming up because I reflected yesterday that I kind of have lost. I've been so busy focusing on changing, growing, building my business, my family, all the challenges I've been through, that I need to kind of review my core values and see if they've changed a little bit. And just kind of realize that I've worked away I've always had them in the back of my mind, and I know to some degree what my core values are of honesty, integrity, compassion, having compassion for others. I've had to greatly learn to have more compassion for myself also, especially over the past year. Clarity of self is kind of one of the first concepts I learned about. So being joyful, focused, and present in my life is where I focus.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Being joyful is sometimes can take quite an effort too. Like, it's not easy when things are going wrong and your world's caving in and trying to take that peace of mind. Yes. And just being in the here and there and being joyful regardless.
Yes, it's also like being able to operate what you're doing and not be focused on the outcome. So like, no matter what you need to be able to do, being able to set aside your emotions when you need to, but also being able to recognize your emotions when you need to. So I always was just kind of setting them to the side and not being aware of what I was thinking, feeling, and what that was contributing to my actions. So just being, truly focused on what you're doing, where you're going. I've learned a lot over the past year about, just being focused and present on what you're doing. It's been a big shift of looking at what you can control, what you can't control in your life. We all have these things happening in life and business, and you need really solid tools and resources to show up and do what you want to do, what you're set out to do on a day-to-day basis, regardless of what's going on, but also giving yourself the time, space, the grace, love, and compassion for yourself to recognize your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but also to still take action and move beyond what you're dealing with. So being able to go through what I've been going through for the past 2.5 years, the past year particularly challenging, once I really started believing in myself and believing that greater things were possible for me, several great things came into my life. And you also have to learn to allow those things to come along to you and know that you were destined for greatness. So the more I've believed in myself and had more love and compassion for myself, the more and more good things that have come my way.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So I'm just hearing, I'm hearing that and I just want to clarify with it. I'm hearing that being able, I think you started to say it, but just to finish it, being able to separate yourself and who you are from outcomes of what you're trying to achieve. So if you're having negative results in different
Yes.
outcomes in your life, it doesn't mean that you're negative. Is that what you're trying to get to there?
Yes, yes. Everyone's going to have challenges. Life is suffering. We have to learn a lesson from all of our challenges, recognize our mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn a lesson from them. So yeah, being able to navigate through life and have ways to do that, to navigate all the obstacles that you encounter. Yeah.
And circle of influence come up a few times, just trying to focus on what you can control and trying to let go, I suppose, of things you
Yes.
can't. And that can be quite challenging at times, isn't it?
Yes. I have to say and be totally honest, I am not 100% myself, my best self on all occasions. I've known people that have been working on their mindset for 20 years, and they're an expert in all the things I've learned over the past year. And everybody is going to have times where we're not our best self. So I 100% admit that. But yeah, being able to have a situation and stop and get yourself into a rational state of mind in order to do what you need to do, whether that be, again, as a parent, in your business, or whatever it may be. Yeah, being able to stop and figure that out, and being able to overcome it and keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward, yeah. And the other thing that resonated with me and what you said is it's not really about living. It seems to me that you want to do more than live. You want to flourish. You're trying to achieve more and get more out of life, and understanding that you deserve more was a big challenge for you.
Yes, believing that you deserve greatness and that you're going to succeed is a huge mindset shift of believing that you're capable of doing what you're doing is one thing, but also believing that you're deserving of success and greatness is a huge mindset that has only been more recent. And, doubt sets in and creeps in for any situations, whether you're dealing with, again, something with your family, something with your business. Everybody has doubt creep in, and to remind yourself, that you really, to believe it though, that you're really destined for greatness is a huge mindset shift.
Yeah, and that's a good message too. Is dream big. You're not going to get there unless you dream, unless you at least think about it, isn't it? So yeah. So thanks for sharing, Jen. Is there any other final messages you think that probably the viewers might want to target on?
Well, I kind of back to the control, because I think I lost my train of thought a little bit earlier. The control and allowing, learning that you cannot control other people.
Yep.
You cannot.
I'm seeing I lost you. Hey. Hello. Sorry, you're back again. Sorry, you must have cut
That's
out
okay.
there for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Were you able to pause it, or were you able to pause it?
We'll just keep
Oh, you're
moving
still
forward.
there? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Still
just
moving
wanted to
forward.
say, basically, knowing what you can control, what you can't control. Also, it's really helpful to look closer at the language that we use in our minds when we speak. All of these things, being aware of like negative language that we tend to use. So many different things we don't even realize in our lives that we're self-sabotaging ourselves for things we've been through. And that goes back to, again, treating yourself kindly, being kind to yourself. It's not, actually, here, this is the other part. Elevating your experience is what has been playing through my head lately. And that's kind of where I'm going with what I put together with what I offer business owners and entrepreneurs. Is everybody wants to just elevate their experience. in life, business. That's really what it's all about. So it kind of just keeps coming back to me that really, having the tools and resources to help improve your mindset, help feel safe and secure, regardless of all the things that are going on in the world is really invaluable today. So I'm really grateful to share a little bit about kind of what I've learned, and enjoy helping people with, sharing with what I've learned to help them grow their business, help protect people, all over the US and Canada, to help deal with everyday problems. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, and you're such inspiration too, Jen. I know your journey. I've been involved. We've known each other for a little while now, so I really do appreciate you spending the time and talking about this. And it's great to see such positive vibes coming through. And I can sense your passion and desire to help other people. So so thanks very much for joining us today. And hopefully, as this podcast progresses, we might be able to get back sometime.
Yes, I would love to. I'll follow you on your YouTube channel, and then I also have a YouTube channel too. So I just share resources for business owners to support their business. Jen Carpenter, Secure and Savvy. So I'm excited to see how your channel and everything grows as well. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Thank you. See ya. Bye.